Hi everyone and welcome to NCHC Between the Boards. I'm Greg Ankers. Coming up on tonight's show, the push for the playoffs continues to heat up as we hit the final weekend of the regular season. Plus, the race for the Penrose Cup, that picture becomes much more clear following this past weekend's action. All the highlights are right around the corner. A little later on the program, we'll introduce you to a freshman phenom from Miami as we profile rookie standout Jack Roslovic, who's been lighting things up for the Redhawks all season long, and we set the stage for a crucial final weekend across the league as teams make one last push to battle for playoff positioning this weekend. We'll get to all of that in just a bit, but we start with our Spotlight series featuring two teams heading in completely opposite directions. Omaha, losers of 9 of their last 13, including 6 of 8 at home, look to turn things around against a North Dakota squad who entered the weekend tied with St. Cloud State for first place in the NCHC. Plenty at stake for both of these teams in this crucial series at Baxter Arena. And late in the first period, Omaha going to get on the board first, charging into the offensive zone. Justin Parizek leaves it for Jake Gensel, who scores to give the Mavs a 1-0 lead after one. UND would tie it at 1 later in the second, midway through the period on a power play here. And Luke Johnson, with some patience up top, has a couple screens out front and fires home the wrister as North Dakota takes a 2-1 lead. In the third then, less than a minute in, Drake Kajula gets the pass ahead from Austin Pagansky and buries it for a 3-1 UND lead. And then North Dakota would need some stops by Cam Johnson. They don't get one here as Omaha's Frederick Olofsson on the one-timer out front from Gensel makes it a 3-2 game, but Cam Johnson would settle down between the pipes for UND after that. He made 20 saves on 22 shots, crucial in the outcome of this one as less than a minute to go. North Dakota's Brock Besser going to bury the empty netter as UND gets the series off to a very good start for them, winning it 4-2. And Omaha, meanwhile, can't seem to snap the Blues at home.
Yeah, we just got to come out with the mentality that we've lost 3 straight now, and that's got to drive us because these points at the end of the year must have, and we're not getting them right now, so we got to find a way. If it's starting in the morning, just got to find a way what we got to do to come out strong.
Goal for ours in the locker room at the start of the season to win the league and obviously put ourselves in a good position for the NCAA tournament here. And I think the rest of the games we have left here in the regular season are must-wins for us. And it was just it was a great team effort by everyone to get those 3 points tonight.
UND with a chance to clinch a share of the Penrose Cup on Saturday night. Omaha just trying to get a W in the first. North Dakota going to work. Johnny Simonson feeds Keaton Thompson for the goal. Thompson's first goal since the season opener back in early October. Makes it a 1-0 game. In the second, North Dakota back at it again, and Drake Kajula back up to his antics. Follows his own shot, knocks it out of midair for the goal, and a 2-0 Fighting Hawks advantage. Later in the period, more from North Dakota. Troy Stetcher, patient up top at the point, finds Bryn Chiswick wide open on the backside, and he buries it to give UND a 3-0 lead. Omaha would finally answer back at the other end. Luke Snuggerud with a shot from the point gets by everybody to cut the deficit down to 3-1. But again, Cam Johnson also a part of this story on Saturday night here, stopping a 2-on-1 by the Mavericks. Cam Johnson had 26 saves on Saturday night, and late in the third, UND's Brock Besser with a hustle play to break up a potential icing, going to get rewarded with the goal here as UND goes on to win 4-1 with the sweep in Omaha. They clinch at least a share of the Penrose Cup this year.
That's huge. Obviously the boys are pretty pumped up with clinching at least a share of that, like you said, but we're not finished. We want to win that outright by ourselves.
Yeah, I mean that feels really good in the locker room. The locker room is really excited, but definitely we don't want to share it. We want to make sure that next week we at least get one win and make sure that we don't have to share that trophy.
With 6 points on the weekend for North Dakota, St. Cloud State would need a sweep in order to keep pace. We'll let you know if the Huskies were able to bust out the brooms next. Welcome back. St. Cloud State has been on a steamroll lately, winning 9 of their last 10 games. Minnesota Duluth, meanwhile, and interestingly enough, has won 8 of their last 9 contests when playing on an Olympic-size ice sheet, which just happens to be the playing surface at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center, where the Bulldogs also swept the Huskies last season. And what a jump there would be in the Bulldogs' step in this one. Just 39 seconds in, Alex Iafallo skating from all the way back around the cage. Couple Bulldogs out in front. Adam Johnson pokes in the goal as UMD takes an early 1-0 lead. They weren't done in the period, though. Later, Tony Cameronisi to Brendan Kotick for the goal to make it 2-0 Dogs. And then, just 90 seconds after that, UMD is going to strike again on the power play. Carson Kuhlman with some blazing speed just charges in and gets the trifecta for the Dogs in the first. It was 3-0 after 1 in the second. St. Cloud State trying to rally. Mikey Acemont in the slot fires home the wrister there to make it a 3-1 game. But in the third, look at this flip by Iafallo ahead to Kuhlman. Kuhlman buries the empty netter late as UMD gets a big road win, 4-1 to keep the good times rolling in St. Cloud. Casimir Kaskasuo with 49 saves in the victory on Friday. What would that put in store for Saturday night? A little bit slower pace, that's for sure. Scoreless into the second, but Minnesota Duluth in the attacking zone. Dominic Toninato comes off the wall, shoots and scores to make it a 1-0 game. Then later in the period, more on the Bulldogs' attack. Willie Raskov with a shot from the point, tipped out in front by Kuhlman. What a weekend for him. Makes it a 2-0 game. Then moments after that, St. Cloud State on a power play. So powerful on the power play. Patrick Russell with the rebound makes it a 2-1 game, but the Huskies get no closer as UMD goes on to win 2-1, getting the sweep and getting things back on track.
I like a lot of the things that we're seeing right now, and hopefully our guys are feeling that too.
It was a huge weekend for us, not only in conference play with that race for home ice, but also the pairwise. So, I mean, yeah, we played 4 really good games now in a row, and we got to keep it rolling.
Well, no team is hotter across the country than Denver right now, with just 1 loss in their last 14 games. And they've suddenly put themselves in a position, have the Pioneers, to be a 3rd team vying for a possible share of the Penrose Cup as they traveled to Western Michigan this past weekend. And with St. Cloud State dropping 2, as you saw earlier, Denver with a golden opportunity in Kalamazoo, and they would set the tone early and often in this one. In the first period, Blake Hillman with a shot from the point on this one, tipped out in front by Danton Heinen, and it's a 1-0 Pioneers lead. Later in the period, Trevor Moore feeding Dylan Gambrell, the freshman, just having an outstanding season for the Pioneers down low, makes it a 2-0 game. Then moments after that, Denver back on the attack again. Some nice moves through traffic by Tarek Hammond, makes it a 3-0 game. And then still in the first, and Denver still attacking. Quentin Shore going to get the feed and the backhand goal here to make it 4-0 after 1 as Denver steamrolls Western Michigan 5-1. There you see a 2-1 shot on goal margin for Denver as well. That is just setting the tone for the series. Would there be any pushback from the Broncos on Saturday night? In the first, late in the period, Denver working on a power play. Trevor Moore buries it for a 1-0 Denver lead after 1. In the second, just over a minute in, and Denver back on the attack once again. Matt Van Voris with a blast from the point gets by everybody as Denver takes a 2-0 lead. Then later in the period, skating short-handed, it's Gambrell putting on the Jets and goes top shelf over Lucas Hafner for a 3-0 Denver lead. In the third, Western Michigan finally gets on the board in this one. Nolan Laporte with a tight angle somehow gets that one in, but the damage was done. Denver goes on to win 4-1 for the sweep, so they're tied for second in the NCHC. Western Michigan, tough close at home.
This is our last game at Lawson this year, but we still have a number of games to play, and as we talked about with our players, when you're deserving and you continue to work and you battle for a period of time and you bring that every single night, there's some interesting things can happen.
We've got more highlights ahead as Miami tries to keep in the top half of the league, and that means home ice in the first round of the NCHC tournament. We've got the Redhawks highlights right after this break. Welcome back. Miami is using a second half surge to get themselves back in the top half of the conference standings. The Redhawks have 8 wins since January 1st and have themselves in a position now for home ice in the first round of the NCHC tournament. They closed out the home portion of their regular season this past weekend as they played host to Colorado College. And in the series opener, it'd be a special night for Miami through the play of some special teams. Midway through the first, Redhawks on a power play, and keeper Sherwood buries that one for a 1-0 Miami lead after 1 in the second. Miami skating short-handed, and the stick goes up for Taylor Richard from the point. He gets the puck and blasts that one home for a 2-0 Miami lead after 2 in the third. Sean Corrali skating in, great play, slams on the brakes, but Jacob Nahama making the glove save to keep it a 2-0 game. Later in the third, though, Miami off the turnover, and Josh Melnick is going to bury that one as Miami goes up 3-0. They go on to win by that score. The Miami penalty kill, 7 for 7 on the night, and Jay Williams with 31 saves in the shutout victory.
I thought Jay did a great job. Really, that was the difference of the game. Other than that, I thought it was pretty even back and forth, and you're able to chip in with a power play goal and a shorthanded goal, and that's pretty much the game.
Colorado College looking for the bounce back then on Saturday night. Not an easy thing to do on the road, but they get a great chance here early in the first. Christian Heil through traffic, but Jay Williams making the big glove save to keep zeros on the board after 1 in the second. Miami strikes first. The feed comes over to Richard, who buries that one for a 1-0 Miami lead after 2. So still just a 1-goal game in the third, but Miami strikes again. Jack Roslovic feeding Kevin Morris. What a one-timer there as Miami gets the power play goal from Morris to go up 2-0. Then just a minute and a half later, here comes Miami again. Off the rebound, keeper Sherwood gets the goal there to make it 3-0. Anthony Lewis scores an empty netter as Miami goes on to win 4-0, keeping home ice in play.
I thought Jay played great again tonight. Special teams were a big part of the game again tonight. Our penalty kill did a great job. Our power play chipped in, and I thought our third period was probably the best period of the weekend.
We've really tried to simplify our game, play north-south rather than east-west, and focus on getting to the net front, burying chances, and just giving ourselves a chance to put the puck in the net and create some ugly goals.
Here are this week's Players of the Week as recognized by the NCHC. For the first time this season, offensive honors go to Carson Kuhlman from Minnesota Duluth. The sophomore had 3 goals and an assist in a sweep at St. Cloud State. Defensive honors for the first time this season go to Taylor Richard of Miami, who had 2 goals and a +4 rating against CC. In addition, he helped lead a penalty kill that went 10 for 10 on the weekend. For the 5th time this year and the 3rd straight week, rookie honors belong to Dylan Gambrell of Denver, who had 2 goals and 2 assists at Western Michigan and had a hand in both game winners as well. He is certainly on a surge for the Pioneers. And for the first time this year, goaltender honors go to Jay Williams from Miami. The senior allowed 0 goals on 55 shots against the Tigers. It's his first 2 shutouts of the season. And with the turn of the calendar, here are the players of the month for February. Player honors go to Danton Heinen from Denver. The sophomore led the NCAA with 15 points for the month. He also led the nation with a +14 rating. And Rookie of the Month honors, you guessed it, Dylan Gambrell from Denver gets it with 13 points in 6 games. That's tops among NCAA freshmen. His 6 goals and 7 assists for the month also helped the Pioneers go to 6-0-0 for the month. Here are this week's polls. The USCHO.com poll has North Dakota number 2 up 2 spots, while St. Cloud State drops a pair down to number 5. Denver's up 1 to number 7, and Omaha has dropped 2 spots to number 15. The USA Today poll is a very much mere reflection of those rankings. The pairwise rankings this week have North Dakota number 2, St. Cloud State number 3, Denver solid at number 7, and Omaha back on the fringe now with their losses. They are sitting at number 13. The NCHC standings, North Dakota at the top has at least a share of the Penrose Cup. Denver and St. Cloud State, though, right there, 6 points back heading into the final weekend. Minnesota, Duluth, and Miami are tied for the final home playoff spot. Whew, it's going to be quite a race as the teams head to the final stretch this weekend. Coming up next, he may only be a freshman, but he's already a leader in Oxford. We talk Jack Roslovic next here on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. He's the first Columbus, Ohio native to be taken in the first round of an NHL draft. After being selected number 25 overall by Winnipeg this past summer, Jack Roslovic elected to go to nearby Miami University in Oxford to play college hockey. And so far, he's living up to the lofty expectations that come with being a potential star at the next level.
Hi, I'm Jack Roslovic.
Roslovic, nice job trying to split the defense. He shoots and scores! What a great play! Jack Roslovic!
Freshman forward.
Anthony Lewis, it's a little slash as he comes up ahead. Still makes a move, then gives it over to Roslovic, who shoots and scores!
Miami University. How I first got interested into hockey was my next door neighbors. They were always a big influence on me. I never had an older brother, had an older sister. And these two kids were 2 years, the first one was 2 years apart from me, and then another one 2 years older than him. And just playing hockey every day in the backyard and on the street, got into it. And Columbus isn't a big hockey town, and I was fortunate enough to have some friends and those guys to teach me the ropes. Hidden talents, I maybe self-proclaimed, but I'm a pretty good chef, I think. I make breakfast for myself and most of the guys in the dorm every day. Away from the rink, I just like to hang out with the guys. Being all in the same dorm, it's really nice. Everybody's right there. You basically are living together and just hanging out with the guys. I'm a big TV show guy right now. I like the show Blacklist, so a lot of binge watching of that, and just doing homework and studying up. Yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, I knew a lot of people there, and I know that everybody was good there, and a lot of people had a chance to get drafted that night. And when my name was called, it was pretty special. Just knowing that you can go up against these big guys, and guys that are from in market places, and you me being from an out of market Columbus, Ohio. It was pretty cool and pretty different. So I felt pretty honored. My favorite hockey movie would probably have to be Miracle. Just wearing the USA flag is something that's really cool, and just watching them do that and watching how they represent the country is pretty special and pretty cool to watch. Well, last year I had to go to Selly. My line mates and I had a Superman line Selly going, so that was pretty fun. But in college I haven't really taken it here. There are a few that cross my mind sometimes, but usually when you score big goals like that, you really don't know what to do. So just throwing your hands up is pretty easy. My favorite NHL player would probably be, Patrick Kane. He's just dynamic to watch on the ice. I don't think I play like him to any extent, but just watching him get the puck is pretty special. I don't know. I think I take lots of bits and pieces from a lot of different players. I kind of look at somebody's skating stride and try to model them, and take a look at someone's vision and try to model them. So I think it's a bunch of people mixed together. My favorite Miami moment was sweeping all of Ohio, beating BG twice and beating Ohio State twice. That's just something that I want to keep the tradition going for Miami, and want to keep that kind of title here in Oxford. Why did I choose Miami? Probably for a couple reasons. Great coaches, hockey-wise, great coaches, great new facilities, great staff, and just great program. Obviously the brotherhood is something pretty special to be a part of. I knew I knew a core amount of the guys, and I kind of just felt welcome around them and comfortable, and I know I could come in there as a freshman and not have any worries. Outside of school, it's outside of hockey, it's a pretty great school. It's a beautiful campus, and pretty good academically as well. So.
Roslovic leads Miami in goals and points this season, and he also leads NCAA freshmen in power play goals and game-winning goals as well. Not a bad way to start your college career. Well, stay with us. On the other side of this break, we've got a full preview of what's at stake this weekend across the NCHC. A share of the conference championship is already in the hands of North Dakota, but Denver and St. Cloud State have plenty to say about that as we enter the final weekend of the regular season starting tonight. And other teams are still battling for a home playoff spot in the first round of the NCHC tournament. Here's what's at stake this weekend. Western Michigan is at number 2 North Dakota. UND clinches the Penrose Cup outright with 1 point this weekend. Western Michigan needs 2 points to ensure they don't drop to last place. Number 5, St. Cloud State at Colorado College. St. Cloud State needs a sweep and help for a share of the Penrose Championship, and Colorado College needs at least 4 points and help to climb out of last place this weekend. Number 15, Omaha's at number 7, Denver. Denver needs a sweep and some help for that share of the Penrose Cup. Omaha, meanwhile, is locked into a road spot either way, but they could be the 5 or 6 seed, depending on how things go. And Miami at Minnesota Duluth. So much on the line in this one. Minnesota Duluth needs 3 points for home ice next weekend, while Miami needs 4 points from this series for home ice for the Redhawks. We will recap all of this weekend's activities and set the stage for the NCHC tournament right here next week on the show. Until then, enjoy the games, everyone.